Do midwives actually read birth plans? Or do they just get filed away somewhere and forgotten? It's one of the questions I get asked most, and I want to give you a proper, honest answer. Not a vague, it depends, a real answer from someone who has been in the room. Because here's the thing. Your birth plan might be one of the most important documents you write before your baby arrives. And most women either don't write one or write one that doesn't do what it should. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what a birth plan is, what to put in it, how to make sure it gets read, and what to do when things don't go to plan. So let's go. I'm Melanie, a birth doula, senior clinical hypnotherapist, and hypnobirthing teacher. I've been working with pregnant women since 2015. I've seen birth plans work beautifully, and I've seen them ignored, and I know exactly what makes the difference. I want to start with a question. If you were planning a significant home renovation, a house extension, would you just turn up on the day without any plans and hope the builders figured it out? Of course not. You'd have detailed plans. You'd have made decisions in advance. You'd have your main vision and you'd have your contingencies if things needed to change. A birth plan is exactly that. It's an order of play for your labour and birth. It has your plan A, your hoped for birth, and it has your plan B and plan C. What you want if things need to move in a different direction. But here is the thing that I don't think gets said clearly enough. There's a very good chance that the first time you meet your midwife or obstetrician on your birth team will be when you arrive in labour. Your birth plan is their introduction to you. Think about what that means. These are the people who will be with you at one of the most profound moments of your life, and in many cases they will know nothing about you when you first arrive. Your birth plan is the document that changes that. Before a single word has been spoken, they know who you are, what you've done to prepare, what you want and what you don't want. It's not a preference sheet, it's not a wish list. It's one of the most important pieces of birth preparation that you will actually do. Do midwives read them? Yes, and here is how to make absolutely sure yours gets read. A midwife coming onto shift will read the notes of every woman in their care. Your birth plan, if it's properly filed with your notes, will be read. The midwives I've worked alongside take birth plans seriously. A clear, well-written birth plan tells them exactly how to support you well, makes their job easier. They want that information about you. The plans that get set aside are the ones that are too long, too confrontational in tone, or buried somewhere inaccessible in a folder. So here's what you do. 1 page only, clear headings, short sections, not paragraphs of prose. Bring multiple printed copies to the hospital, one for your notes, one to be handed directly to the midwife, one for your birth partner to keep, and one for your doula if you're using one. Put it at the front of your notes, not tucked inside, and write it in a warm, collaborative tone. Not, I refuse this, but I'd like to avoid this where possible and would appreciate being consulted before any decisions are made. And one more thing, one of the most valuable things a birth partner can do, hand a fresh copy of the birth plan to every new midwife who comes on shift, proactively, before they've even opened the notes. That single action changes everything. Let me walk you through the key sections. About you. Start with a brief personal introduction. Your name, your birth partner's name, your doula's name if appropriate, and a line about your preparation. Something like, I've completed a hypnobirthing course and will be using breathing and self-hypnosis throughout. I am calm and I'm prepared. This sets the tone immediately. It tells the midwife who she's working with. Also include any relevant fears, a fear of needles, a previous difficult birth experience, or any notes of great importance, such as previous sexual assault, right at the top. Anything your care team should know about you as a person, not just as their patient. Your plan A. This is your hoped for birth. Your preferences around the environment, lighting, music, who's in the room, how you'd like to be spoken to. Your wishes around pain relief, and this is important. State clearly if you would like to be left to use your hypnobirthing techniques, and that you will ask if you want anything more. Do not offer, I will ask. Include your preferences around monitoring, movement, positions, and vaginal examinations, how often and who with, or whether you do not consent for these unless there is a medical reason. Your plan B and C. This is the section most women leave out, and it's one of the most important. What do you want if induction is recommended? What are your preferences around assisted birth? And crucially, what do you want if you need a cesarean? Skin to skin in theatre where possible. Who cuts the cord? Optimal cord clamping. Your birth partner present at all times. These things can and should be in your plan, even if you are not planning a cesarean, because birth takes its own path. After the birth, your wishes around the third stage, the birth of the placenta. Optimal cord clamping, immediate skin to skin, for how long and under what circumstances. Your wishes around newborn procedures, your feeding intentions. When your plan needs to change, here is the truth. Birth can certainly be unpredictable. And that's not a failure, it's simply birth. Birth is unpredictable at times. Your birth plan is not a contract with the universe. It's a statement of your informed preferences, held lightly enough that when something needs to change, you can adapt and pivot with knowledge rather than fear. The women who navigate unexpected changes most capably are not the ones with the most rigidly held plans. They are the ones with the most thorough plans, who thought through their B and C scenarios in advance. So nothing comes as a complete surprise. Whenever a change is suggested in labour, you have the right to ask, what are the benefits of this? What are the risks of this? What are the alternatives? What happens if we wait? What does my instinct say? That's the brain's framework. Benefits, risk, alternatives, intuition, nothing, second opinion. And it's one of the most powerful tools you can have in labour. I teach it in depth in the hypnobirthing course, and I encourage you to commit it to memory before your estimated due date. Your birth plan and your birth preparation belong together. They are two parts of the same thing. Hypnobirthing gives you the knowledge to write a thorough, informed birth plan. Because by the time you've done the preparation, you understand your options, your rights, and the evidence behind the decisions you'll face, such as induction of labour. And your birth plan reinforces your preparation because it signals to your care team from the moment you arrive that you are ready. I've seen it happen so many times. A woman arrives with a clear birth plan and a prepared birth partner. The midwife reads it, looks up and says, right, let's make this happen. That's what preparation does. That is what you deserve. Write the plan, do the preparation, and trust yourself. The Better Birth Stories online hypnobirthing course includes a free editable birth plan template. 1 page, clear, comprehensive, designed to be read at a glance. It's included alongside 94 video lessons, 12 professional MP3s, and over 10,000 women in our private community. £39, $47 with a 30-day guarantee. Links are in the description below, including a free birth plan template download, 5 completely free course lessons, and a free relaxation track to start tonight. Subscribe for a new video every week and leave your questions below. I do read every single one.